Hi everyone, how you doing today? It's a great honor, a great privilege to be here today as one of the speakers, standing on existing protocol, the SCG president, with our consult, and to all speakers out there. Unfortunately, I will be making my speech virtually, and I believe most of the students at the OGDO listening to this, I believe you're definitely going to reflect this towards the journey of life. And I know most of the speakers would have talked more about the challenges, things you need to face, life after school, the career path, everything, I believe they would have picked points, one or two, for you, to take home. And so I would like to make a brief introduction. However, my biography, I believe most of you would have read more about me. My name is Quadri Adegboyega, a graduate of Adegboyega University. I was once like you, yeah, but unfortunately, I was not opportune to have a program like this, which is very intuitive. So I applaud the SUG president and Rita Consult for bringing this to the Adegboyega chapter. So I would just like to walk you through my journey, postgraduate journey, my pathway here, how I moved from Adegboyega University as a graduate, moved to Europe through the Erasmus Mundus scholarship, and also now in Canada. So as at when I was in 300 level, then I was I don't know what I was doing, honestly. I just know I came to school, I'm doing well academically, and my friends too. I was a member of the Great Achievers Club, Adegboyega University. That really shaped me a lot. Yeah, I used to be a tutor. I tutored there for about 4 years. Yeah, I gained my confidence, and also I served as a student representative council on Adegboyega University. So before I proceed with my speech, there's this kind of kind of a critiques that most of the youth are always stating out there, like school na scam, school na fraud, no go school. That school na scam, it's left to you guys to give answer to that. Is school truly a scam? But trust me, if school was a scam, I won't be here today. Neither any of the speaker will be here today to address you. So these are the mantra that they've used in brainwashing most of the youth out there in Nigeria today. But as Lai used to say, information in your info, information is key, information is vital. As I was saying when I was in 300 level, honestly, I just know I will travel. I know I am definitely going to travel. I do not come from a rich background. We are not financially buoyant, but I know I'm definitely going to travel because most time I spend a lot of time on YouTube. I surf the internet, connecting with people on LinkedIn, I join different community on Twitter as well. So during this journey, I met different scholars online where I tend to connect with them, ask for information about the ongoing scholarship, and from there, I was creating that connection with different people that I know, yeah, this is a face of, I'm just doing it for fun, honestly, as I then. I was just doing it for fun. Not until one day when I did my final exam at Adegboyega University, I sat down and I said to myself, do I want to go back to school or do I want to, look for a job? And then a lot of things we've been hearing out there was there is no job opportunity, no job in Nigeria, blah, 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 blah. I was kind of scared for myself. Like, oh, I graduated. And I do not graduate with a first class, but, I graduated with a strong 4 points. But, it's so sad for me that I did not graduate with, a first class, Back then, we used to have some kind of sadist lecturer, like they would just want to, frustrate your life. So then, when I graduated, I reached out to my friend. His name is Adegboyega. He's a very good friend of mine from the Zero. We sat down together, and he told me he applied for a scholarship in Russia, and he has been awarded one. I was like, wow, really? So I met with a friend on Twitter. He's actually schooling in Netherlands, and I reached out to him. What scholarship do you think? He gave me a link to some scholarship, list of scholarship in most of the European country, and I felt like, okay, let me put in some application, in which I did. During this period, I tend to learn more about the scholarship. Scholarship does not have to do with either you are first class or 2-1. Trust me. There are some scholarships that would always look at the leadership skills. They are so concerned about the leadership skills. That's why, most of you guys out there are always like, oh, I don't want to do politics in school. It's none of my business. It's none of my concern. Trust me, you need it. Because that would actually reflect in your journey as a leader, as a true leader. Back then, I came in as a National Association of Economic Welfare Director. From there, I moved to the faculty level, joined the politics, served as a student representative council, and also as a tutor for the Great Achievers Club for about 4 years. Yeah, this actually reflected my journey and helped me build a very solid portfolio, showing to these people that I have these leadership skills. So then I just, started applying, and I keep putting my application, and I got a call. Congratulations, you have been awarded this scholarship, Erasmus Mundus. So I decided to do my application. I submitted everything. Bam, my passport was stamped. I found myself there in Poland at Postgraduate University of Life Science Economics. I was running my program during the journey, and I was getting stipends. I was not supposed to work. I was getting stipends, and as well during this period in time, I was just focusing on my academics and building up more skills for myself. So after this period in time, I sat down. When I got to my final stage, my final semester, I was opportune. I was applying for job, things started coming up, like, what do I want to do next? What did I want to do next? Do I want to, go into my career path? And then I was doing my ICANN then, but I had to pause it because my visa came in quick. So then I started applying for jobs, and I moved down to the fintech line. I worked as a financial crime analyst with one of the top fintech company. I work remotely, and after the interview, I moved into the field, started my career journey. But still, I wasn't satisfied, because there is this saying like, you feeling so comfortable in your zone means there's something you need to step up in your journey in life. And I felt like there was some limitation putting me back in Europe then, because of the language barrier. Yeah, that is a limiting factor for me. The language barrier, then I felt like, no, I need to do something for myself. However, Canada has been my dream country, all right, from time. So I felt like, what pathway can I use in applying for scholarship to Canada? I wanted to go to Canada, and as well, I wanted to go to Australia, and I wanted to go to US. So I have a compiled list of different scholarship, both in Canada, Europe, and also in Australia and US. So I started putting up my application for both PhD and masters in all of this country. I was doing some interview with some of the professor. I was sending some cold email. I had some publications as well, because you going for a graduate school, you need some publication to prove that you are up to the task. I did some publication with my friends, and they actually published in the top journals. And as time goes on, working on more, doing interview, keep applying for this scholarship scheme, and I was getting different interview, and they were stating, oh, we like your background, area of concentration actually matched with that was what the professors were saying then. I got a fully funded scholarship to University of Alabama in USA. I got a scholarship to Saskatchewan University in Canada, and also Simon Fraser University in Canada, and also in Australia. Like 4 scholarship came in. Then I had to look for the pros and the cons, right? Look for the one that I tend to get more benefit from. I decided to go for that of Canada. So with that, I applied and I got a full funding to study here in Canada. It's just a pre-doctorate degree. When I got in, I realized things were a bit different. But OU really shaped us to I believe the speaker can resonate with what I'm saying. We definitely shaped you, like, to the phase that you will definitely survive this phase. When I got there, I realized that most of everything we've done in Nigeria was totally different from here. This is hardcore economics, and I put in my energy, put my effort, and good. I succeeded. I passed the comprehensive exam and everything. So shortly, what I'm just going to say is, towards the journey of your life, most of the scholarship, there are a lot of information out there. These Western people actually want the brilliant dude from Africa. The white people here, trust me, most of them, the highest level of education they have is bachelor degree. They want a lot of immigrants. We have a lot of black community, black scholars here. We have Mark and Mark Bain Association, UBC, Simon Fraser University, whereby we, the scholars of the graduate of British Columbia, the province I am here in Canada, we have an association whereby we all come together and dialogue. They really cherish the black community here. So looking out for scholarship does not have to do with my brilliancy. Like I said earlier, it has to do with what skill do you have? Are you a team player? Do you have that leadership skills? Yeah, I used to tell a lot of people, and oh, sorry, I forgot that. When I was in Poland as well, I was trying to, I got stranded at a point whereby I could not pay application fee. I was opportune to apply for World Bank scholarship as well, whereby they paid for my GRE exam, and also they paid for my application fee, all my application fee. I do not spend a dime. So it is actually organized by the World Bank in Switzerland. So majorly they focused more on economics and social science related course, like of accounting, political science, and pub admin, economics and social science related course. So they are definitely going to pay for all your application, and so I did that, and they paid for all my application because they are there to support most of the West African students who are not financially buoyant to pay application fee when it comes to scholarship application. How many people can afford $100 for like 10 schools when it comes to application? So this struggle actually keep continuing. So what I'm just going to say is, personally, for you all, there are a lot of scholarship out there if you know what you're doing, and if you seek for the right information, you are definitely going to get one. There are a lot of fundings here. These people just want you, just come in as much as you can beat up the challenge. So most people out there, they do not have that, they do not have that information. Like, they can come to the Western world here to study free of charge. They will be the one to pay you. They will be the one to pay you. You don't have to spend any dime. There are some scholarships that would even pay for your flights to come down to the destination. They will pay for your computer, your laptop, everything, even your housing. They are definitely going to pay for everything. So I believe with this point of mine and how I went through my journey in life, I believe you would definitely reflect towards this. I only have a short time, just to give a little speech regarding that. So most of you can connect me on LinkedIn. We can connect, we can talk, we can, chat. And I believe Rita Consult is also there to help you when it comes to, attending scholarship, enhancing global success out there. It's a thing of joy to look out for. And I believe I'm definitely going to see you guys in higher places. Yeah. Thank you very much. And thank you for the opportunity.